This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I'm thrilled to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, we're going to work on reading all the notes that we've worked on in previous lessons, all combined together. So we've worked on B, C, and D from the second string, and we've worked on E, F, and G from the top string. Here in this lesson, we're going to combine the notes together from both strings. This video does accompany lesson 2 from my note reading books 1 and 2 method books. So if you have that book, you're going to want to turn to page 15. We're going to be jamming together on the exercises from that page. Okay, so as you get used to combining the notes from these two strings, because we've only worked on each of these strings in isolation, it can help to play a piece of the C major scale to sort of get these notes down and to get going back and forth between the two strings down. So if you start on the C note, which happens at that first fret of that second string, and then play up the scale, C, D, E, F, and G. So we go C, D, E, F, up to G, and then we're going to go back down. F, E, D, C, and then when we get to the C, we'll play the open B note and then come back to C. If we do that, it can help us lock this in and get the technique down. Remember that in our left hand, we want to place our fingers on the tips just behind the metal fret bar. And we're going to be using our index finger for the notes in the first fret and our ring finger for the notes in the third fret. Getting that down will really help us as we continue. It really locks in where our fingers need to be placed for each of these notes. Having that down makes it easier as the melodies get harder. So we're going to play that C note, we're going to put our index finger on the tip just behind the metal fret bar, and then D just behind that metal fret bar on the third fret with our ring finger, and so on and so forth. In the right hand, we're doing all down plucks with a pick, or alternatively with your thumb, or alternatively if you're using a classical style, that's okay as well, but I'm not going to go over that style here in this video series. So with the pick, it can be helpful to maybe anchor a little bit. Use the palm of your hand, set it on the bridge, sort of just behind the saddle. You don't want to mute the strings, but sort of get comfortable there. Tuck those fingers in, and you can just do all down plucks and find back and forth between that B string and E string kind of easy. And you may just want to go back and forth between the two strings, plucking downward, getting comfortable there. You can also do that with your thumb if you're using your thumb. Just go back and forth a little bit. So that's what we're doing in the right hand. You can sort of anchor your wrist a little bit there with the palm of your hand if you need to. And if you're having trouble finding where these strings are as you're plucking, you can actually do an exercise where you play each of the notes 4 times before moving on. So you just get used to doing that down pluck, and so on and so forth. You could do 3 times each, 2 times each, and then come back to 1 time each on this little scale exercise. But with the scale exercise, just to demonstrate here, and you can play along with me if you want to, I'm going to go C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, B, C. And you just want to play that over and over, say those notes out loud. That can help you memorize where they are. Then it can be helpful to sort of skip over each one. From C to E, then D to F, then E to G. And you can do that in reverse. G to E, F to D, and then E to C. You can do D to B, and then come back to C. Doing that sort of thing will help you find these. You can go a little bit further. You can do the ones that are in the same fret. Skip C to F, skip D to G. Do it in reverse. G to D, F to C, and then of course you could do E to B, or B to E, and then come back to that C. And you could go even further if you wanted to and skip C to G. That's a big skip. And we kind of only have that one there that can do that. But doing these different skips, or G to C, can help you with memorizing where these are. You can also just play with yourself. Say a letter name, F, find the F. Say B, find the B. Just play around a little bit, trying to memorize where these notes are and going back and forth between the notes on the two strings. Once you've done that, we're ready to jam together on these exercises on page 15. So we'll have the band jam along track. You, me, and the band, we're going to be jamming together playing these exercises at 2 different tempos. First at 80 beats per minute, and then we'll be playing them at 100 beats per minute. Remember that we've got the whole notes worth 4 counts, half notes worth 2 counts, and quarter notes worth 1 count. So it's as important that we play the right rhythm as it is that we play the right pitch. It can be helpful to say the pitch names out loud. Now, these exercises may be trickier than anything we've done previously, combining all 6 of these notes together. So it's okay if you need to go through on the jam along track and just say the names of the notes as they happen with the jam along track. You could also then say the names and pluck those notes if you need to count the rhythms. The rhythms here are pretty easy, but they stay pretty symmetrical, so you probably don't have to worry about the rhythm too much. You may just be able to intuitively play with the groove of the band jamming on these tracks intuitively on that rhythm. Okay, so it's going to be fun. Each one of these will happen at 2 tempos. As I mentioned, we'll get a 4-beat intro from the drums, playing a measure of time with a drum fill, and then we'll be in on them. Let's go ahead and jam together on these. Okay, great. So now that we have these 6 notes learned, we're ready to play some familiar melodies. So in the next video, we'll be jamming together on some old traditional melodies that may be familiar to you. It's going to be fun. Hope you're having a good time with this. Take care, and I'll see you in that next video. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.